In the interest of true fairness, I had decided on the last video that I made to basically express my opinions on all of the recent controversy regarding Pokemon Sword and Shield. A lot of my controversial opinion, or a lot of the controversial opinions that were going around were based on the fact that we have no full national dex, and various graphical issues and animation complaints and things of that nature. All of the things that I have assumed up until this point of making this video were that Pokemon was still a very big priority to Gamefreak and Nintendo itself. I believe that, since Gamefreak is bread and butter basically is the Pokemon franchise, that they were actually going to lavish a little bit more attention onto it, but the reason that they were doing it the way that they are now was in regards to them probably trying to rush the games out for the holiday season. And while I know that that is a terrible practice, but every company seems to do it because they want those immediate dollars, they want to rope you in, and I had stated in the previous video as well that I would be totally and perfectly okay with them releasing Pokemon Sword and Shield slightly incomplete and then giving us DLC later on in the game, or later on during the game's lifespan, to basically give us access to every single Pokemon in the entire national dex. And again, that is an opinion I still hold true to right now. However, those assumptions were all made on the predicate, I think that's probably the wrong word, predicated on the opinion, or the assumption, that Game Freak's only project at the time was Pokemon Sword and Shield. After doing a little bit more digging and watching another video by SilphSpectre, link to that video will directly be in the description down below because I will be referring to some of the things that he made in said video, regarding the fact that essentially, Game Freak came out right and said it in an interview prior to E3 this year, that Pokemon is not a mainstream priority to them right now. I don't have the direct quote, but I will leave all the links in the description. But they basically went on record and saying that we are trying to advance the creative stylings of our other employees to get them to do more things with the gaming industry and not just Pokemon. So we're making them do other games and kind of pushing Pokemon to the wayside. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this video not so yelly as before, probably because of the fact that I just got off work and I'm a bit tired, but I wanted to kind of stress this a little bit. I don't know about you guys. If any of you guys out there own a business or you know of someone who owns a business and they have specific, product. Like, say for example, it's a grocery store, it's a mom and pop shop. If a mom and pop shop is owning a specific amount of merchandise in retail store, whatever, and they know for a fact that there is at least a couple products that they're their most popular items, they sell them, what do? They stock them more heavily. They put more focus and emphasis on the items that are flying off the shelves. If this is just a common, I know there's a term for it, but I can't remember what it is. If this is just a common, common sense business practice, why the fuck can Game Freak not even understand that? I don't care how guaranteed they think Pokemon is going to just poop them money, despite the fact that it is, especially considering this is going to be the first full-price main series Pokemon game. But anyway, I don't really get their reasoning behind this. Why would they not want to invest a massive amount of time into the brand new generation of Pokemon? I don't really have much of an issue if they invest a little bit less time like they did with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, as opposed to Sun and Moon. Because as a lot of you guys know, the main Pokemon team was going to be working on Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then it was the secondary team that was going to start work on Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So that makes perfect sense. You're going to try to get out the side games, put them out there, eat up another couple $1 million, and there you go. And I personally prefer Ultra Sun and Moon vastly to Sun and Moon. I think that's just a trend for me personally, that in every single generation, with the exception of Generation 2, I prefer the first part, or the second part of the generation over the first part. For example, I prefer Yellow over Red and Blue, I prefer Emerald over Ruby and Sapphire, I prefer Platinum over Diamond and Pearl, etc., etc. Now, that being the case, it does make sense a little bit, to me anyway, that they would take a lot of their more resources and put it to Sword and Shield, while kind of leaving, Ultra Sun and Moon as a secondary side project. Perfectly acceptable because the groundwork for Sun and Moon were already set. They already had the models, they already had the world and all that stuff, so they just had to give it some polished tweaks, throw another $40 price tag on each game, and we eat it up like cotton candy. I know I sure did. I bought the dual pack, for God's sake. But now this doesn't make sense anymore, because now you're going with a full-fledged, brand new generation of Pokemon, that's never been done on a home console, ever. We've never had a main series game on a home console. Despite my argument that Colosseum and Exegate of Darkness could be considered mainstream games... Hold on, we got a little lag here. What is going on? There we go. Okay. Despite the fact that I can consider Colosseum and XD to be main series, only because they are the similar battle the battle format, as well as the fact that you can trade the Pokemon from Colosseum and XD to the Generation 3 main series games and forward. Except now we can't do it in Generation 8 because of reasons that Nintendo I don't think really wants to tell us. I personally think that this is just a cop-out. I think that they are just so complacent with the idea that Pokemon is just going to poop money that they feel that basically shitting on their most beloved franchise. It is literally the best-selling franchise ever. I mean, it outsells Marvel, it outsells the Disney princesses, it outsells Mickey Mouse, for fuck's sake. It outsells everything in merchandising, and yet they're not willing to put millions of dollars of time and love and care and investment into this. Their baby. This is their baby. This is the thing that poops fucking Nintendo money. This game series makes more money than any series that Nintendo has ever put out. Even Mario. I mean, collectively, yes, the Mario games have sold more copies than the Pokemon games. But if we're talking about the Pokemon franchise in and of itself, like all of it, it sold more than Mario has because of all the Pokemon cards and notebooks and, all of the kinds of merchandise like plushies and whatnot that Mario doesn't have as extensively as Pokemon does. So we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry owned by a multi-billion-dollar company that has hundreds of millions, if not billions of fans worldwide who are anticipating, including myself, the introduction of the most popular game series ever made, placed on a home console for the first fucking time in their history, and they're putting it on the back burner. They're using it as a side project because they are so confident. All I can think about this is that this is just sheer arrogance. This is just them being like, you know what? Fuck it. We don't want to put in the effort, so here, take Sloppy Seconds for $60 and shut the fuck up and go buy our other game, Town. Okay, why? I just want to know why. Why are they not, like, I want a genuine reason, because financially it doesn't make sense, because yeah, you're going to be investing a lot more money into the game, but you're also going to get a fucking much bigger return. The Switch is fucking sold what? Like, I think it's like 20 million units or something like that, some ridiculously high number that's only matched by stuff like the DS, the PlayStation, and the fucking Wii. Like, for fuck's sake, man, you're talking about one of Nintendo's most popular platforms they've had for the last 10 years, with the most popular game series ever on that platform, and they don't want to lavish it with the attention that it deserves. Again, I'm going to go back to Metroid for a second here, like I did at the end of last video. Metroid Prime 4 had its entire development scrapped, handed back to the creators of the original trilogy because Nintendo themselves were not satisfied that the way that the original company that was going to be producing Metroid Prime 4 was making the game to appeal to the fans. Yet here we go with Gamefreak, not even understanding their own IP enough and the fans of their own IP enough to lavish the attention that this damn game series deserves. I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was 3 years old. You're talking 22 years of my life. I've been collecting the cards, collecting the plushies, playing the games, all this stuff. And I'm just one of millions of people who've been doing this. One of millions. And you know the worst part about this? I'm still going to get the games. I think that's the most depressing part. Because Nintendo's not wrong. Game Freak's not wrong. Sorry, I can't put all this blame on Nintendo. I gotta put most of this on Game Freak because they're the ones who are just out of touch with the Pokemon Company. They're the ones that are just not understanding what they need to do to make the main series, especially like, why would you do this? I really want to know. I don't see a point in limiting the progress of the best series ever made, sales-wise. I don't get it, guys. But like I said, the worst part about this entire problem is that they're right. It's not going to make a difference. My assumption is correct. They're not going to make a difference. Yeah, they might sell less than expected, but the worst selling Pokemon game ever was Pokemon Crystal, which sold 6.41 million units. That's still really good. That's more than almost every game. Actually, yeah, that's more than every game in the Metroid series, as now that I think about it. I think Metroid Prime and Super Metroid had like 2 million sales each. So we're talking more than Nintendo's third oldest franchise that's still around. I gotta take my glasses off for this one. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I really, really, really hope that this game is good. If these games are good, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. If the backlash gets enough attention to the point where not only do they acknowledge the fact that they're doing something wrong and just say, fuck you, we're doing it anyway, but get Pokemon Company involved directly, get Nintendo's executives involved directly, and make some changes, because I don't believe that Game Freak, if they have 151 something staff members, they should not be splitting their team at the most crucial time in the Pokemon franchise as of now. The first time the main series heads to a console. They really shouldn't be splitting hairs with this, but, you know, Nintendo's going to do what they're going to do, Game Freak's going to do what they're going to do, and I guess the best thing that we can do is, as fans and people in general who are hyped for these games like I am, I mean, if you want this game to flop and teach Game Freak a lesson, don't buy it. But I know for me, it's Pokemon, I'm going to do it anyway. The only Pokemon games I haven't bought that had a battle format were Pokemon Let's Go and Pikachu and Eevee, but they were so different from the rest of the games that I didn't feel like I'd bother. But Sword and Shield are going to be actual main series Pokemon games, and I have to do my due diligence. I mean, I'll complain and I'll bitch and I'll whine and I'll moan and I'll make these videos until the cows come home, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be money out of my pocket. $64 in US currency going down the drain, because I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan, and I just really hope that Game Freak does something different before the end of the release date. I mean, if they delay it, I would actually be so happy if they delayed the game. That's how bad this is getting. Yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call that a video today. Sorry about the rambliness again, but the last video got it's getting a lot of positive attention, which I'm really glad about. So thank you guys for checking out the other video. If you guys are watching this from that one, I do really appreciate the support. But yeah, if you guys would like to support the channel, just go ahead and leave some comments, leave some likes, and leave some scribbles on the channel and stuff like that. We hit 5,000 subscribers not too long ago, so I'm really happy about that. Go ahead and subscribe to the Let's Play channel. Link to that will be in the description as well. I'm going to be doing Pokemon Ultra Moon Let's Play. Probably start uploading again today or tomorrow. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all from me. So until next time, this has been CDS. Thank you for finding one video at a time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.